What's going on there, guys? Earthmaster here, jumping in on this beautiful Thursday evening out here in Northern California. Today's date, March 11th, 2021. The date, 7:30 p.m. West Coast time here in California. The latest quake out there on planet Earth, a 3.6 magnitude quake striking the Hawaii Islands out there, the big island of Hawaii, kind of out there around the southeast area of the island. You can see that right there on the latest USGS map. 3.6 striking around this area. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. You guys are welcome to. Offshore. Okay, this is kind of closer to that Lohi Seamount area. Or is that, let me see. Let's see if I pronounce that correctly. Loihi? I probably just killed it. Anyway, it's that underwater volcano out there, southeast of the island. This earthquake striking northwest of that volcano by about, looks like 15 miles or so, but off the coast and relatively deep as well compared to some of the earthquake activity up here towards the southeast part of the island. This 3.6 striking at 54 kilometers below surface. Quite a bit of movement going on out here in the Hawaii Islands. That's kind of why we're going to kind of focus on that for the topic for tonight. Most of the activity that folks have been hearing about is around the Mauna Loa area, the largest active volcano on Earth, right? It's a pretty significant volcano and very dangerous. Let's go over to the latest information here from the USGS.gov volcanoes website. The latest status shows a yellow advisory for the volcano. You can see how large that volcano is. Covers a significant portion of the big island. Last eruption for this volcano was back in March 24th of 1984. I do not remember hearing about it. I was only a kid back then, I think, somewhere around there. Threat potential very high. It is a shield type volcano. And as I mentioned, the yellow advisory as of today, March 11th. There's been quite a few publications here from the USGS. We'll go back here to the 25th on a little topic of when Mauna Loa will erupt. What is this here? Make sure I got everything set up here. See if I'm looking. I'm not going to read all of this here, folks. This kind of gives you the sloped topography of the land out here, high elevation, low elevation, etc. Mauna Loa is not currently erupting, but there has been signs of elevated unrest above known background activity since July 2019. That's when the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory increased its volcanic alert level to advisory and its aviation color code to yellow. Mauna Loa is the largest active volcano on Earth, covering just over half of the island of Hawaii. Let's see here. History has shown that Mauna Loa eruptions can begin with very little warning and produce high-volume lava flows that travel long distances in short periods of time, impacting communities on the flanks of the volcano. Of course, you know, volcano area is a beautiful place to live, right? But you got to remember the danger that future events can pose, you know, to your livelihood. Mauna Loa's last eruption began at its summit on March 25th, 1984. A series of fissures subsequently opened along the northeast rift zone, feeding lava flows that came to within about 17 kilometers of Hilo Bay in 5 days. The eruption ended on April 15th. So not a long eruption. It's been quite a while since we've seen an eruption. The fastest high-volume eruption from Mauna Loa in recorded history began back in 1950 when fissures opened from the uppermost southwest rift zone, generating a lava flow that traveled 24 kilometers and reached the ocean in less than three hours. That's pretty significant there. Really significant. Doing some damage along the coastal village areas and covering certain highways there. Not good. Let's see what else we got here. Here's the question. So when will Mauna Loa erupt next? It is not possible to predict. There's that word predict, the exact date and time. Geophysical measurements indicate that the Mauna Loa's magma storage system has been recharging since 1984. Since the 1984 eruption, there has been signs of elevated unrest since 2019 when they raised the alert code. But the next Mauna Loa eruption does not appear to be imminent. Nevertheless, the recent slight increase in seismicity and ground deformation is a reminder that Mauna Loa is a sleeping giant. Okay. Also today, see, this was back on the 25th. I want to go over here to Facebook, and they just recently put out, past 3 hours, the USGS Volcano website there on Facebook, their Facebook page. Put out a little article. It's pretty lengthy, so I'm not going to read through that as well. But Mauna Loa has been in the news lately as the volcano continues to awaken from its slumber. While an eruption of Mauna Loa is not imminent, now is the time to revisit personal eruption plans. Kind of like an earthquake plan, right, if you will. There's quite a bit of information here on how to prepare, what to do. You know, having plans is the main, should be your main thing if you're living out there around this specific volcano within this area. Look at the significance here of the time differences on this section here, the west-southwest side, South Kona area. Here's the time where lava flows from this region of Mauna Loa can reach populated areas. Just within hours, folks, just within hours. You can see how significant this is to the population that may live in this region. Should this volcano do a significant eruption. Up here to the north, we're looking at days to weeks. Over here around this area, 1984 area, reach populated areas within weeks to months. And then over here in the south area, can reach populated areas in days to weeks here. So this is a big island. This is the Mauna Loa volcano boundary area. Historic flows, right? Shows the flow area and the streaks here. These little veins of lava, which is pretty, man, that's got to be crazy. If this thing, I would love to go over there and film this. I've never been to Hawaii. I think it would be awesome to go over there and do quite a bit of research and get some live shots. If this thing does happen to, get crazy on us. It's 2021. You never know. It seems like as soon as we hit 2020, just, everything went to heck. So watching this pretty closely. Their Facebook page, like I mentioned, has quite a bit of information on it. Have a personal response plan if you live around the area. Nowadays, people pack go bags containing essential items in case you have to leave your house under an evacuation order. Let's see here. Yeah, so I'm not going to read all that. But it's kind of odd they put this out today. But it's good, kind of like living in California or tornado country back east. It's good to have an alert plan, just in case something does happen. But it's getting some attention. This Mauna Loa volcano is definitely getting some attention. And that's from the USGS Volcanoes Facebook page. Now I want to check out the latest article here, see if it's any different. Let's see, let's go back here to the other articles. That was the 25th. That one article I read, there's that 4.2 that struck yesterday. And I think basically this article that was published today is just the same exact thing that they put out for the most part on the Facebook page. Kilauea volcano is erupting, of course, right? And it's been ongoing for quite some time, still filling up the that crater out there. The latest update on that, Kilauea volcano erupting from a vent on the northwest side of the crater. Let's see here. Active portion of the lake is 725 feet deep. Whew. Mauna Loa is not erupting and remains at the alert level. Let's see here. This past week, about 183 small magnitude earthquakes were recorded beneath the upper elevations of Mauna Loa. Most of these occurred at depths of less than 6 kilometers. Global positioning system measurements show continued slow summit inflation, consistent with magma supply to the volcano's shallow storage system. A slight increase in the rate of inflation at the summit that began in January is continuing. Gas concentrations and what is that? Fumarole? Temperatures at both the summit and sulfur cone on the southwest rift zone remain stable for now. Webcams show no change to the landscape. Let me check out the map here real quick. If it's going to let us, doesn't look like it's going to let us. There we go. So this is kind of cool. You can check out a bunch of different stuff here, and I'm sure some other stuff besides the earthquakes here. Looks like maybe GPS stations and whatnot. GPS displacement. We can go over the last 10 years. Let's see if that's going to let us view it. I didn't click on this before. Oh, it was probably up here. Hold on a second there. Okay. That's a beautiful image right there, right? Load image. Not for sure what's going on there. I will have to check back on that and see what's going on there. Gosh darn it, I closed the wrong one. Let me go back over here to the active volcanoes here real quick and read this article. Not the article we just read, but this other one here. Let's see. Not for sure what's going on. Maybe they're getting bombarded here with traffic, which is very possible. So we read that one. We read this one. Okay. So it kind of covered that. There's just, a lot of articles being put out right now with this volcano, Mauna Loa, the ones that's not erupting, but could potentially create a catastrophic event over here for the populated areas. The latest earthquakes there on the USGS map over the past day, all magnitudes here. Of course, shows that 3.6 that just struck a couple minutes ago. Directly at Mauna Loa region, there's only been a couple small microquakes there, but we'd have to go back 7 days, all magnitudes, to see the significance of activity stretching up into this area. Of course, magma being supplied and funneled up into, with this line of activity, up into the region there around the crater. And looking at some of these earthquake depths there, they're all pretty shallow, folks. They're super shallow, like they mentioned. There's a 2.1, pretty deep, 38 kilometers in that little mix there. But like the USGS folks mentioned in the article, summit inflation is ongoing, and it's something to watch really closely. And it's good to have a plan, folks. If you are out there or know someone that is out there, the danger is real. As far as the southeast area, like I said, that 3.6 struck here, kind of in an area where we haven't seen any earthquake activity over the last week. This is, like I said, the all magnitudes. And the nearest earthquake activity is up here to the north by about 10 miles or so. So kind of watching this, folks. Hawaii, it's a hot spot volcanic activity. It's significant. There's a lot of significant region, chain of islands out there that's being created from volcanoes, and it stretches, believe it or not, here in many, many years. It will stretch all the way up to the Aleutian Islands, and this will be a beautiful. You'll be able to drive potentially from the Aleutian Islands all along this chain of islands here down to the main motherland of the Big Island one day, maybe in a few lifetimes from now, but no time soon. So keep an eye on it, folks. We'll keep you updated if something does change in there. But for now, kind of just keeping an eye on it. It's above background level activity. And, of course, things can rapidly progress. I'll see if I can find a seismograph station there within the region to monitor the earthquake activity live on the live stream. What else we got here? Kilauea Volcano, of course, no earthquake activity out there. But there is the ongoing filling of the crater, Kilauea crater area, with the magma that's coming in there. So, other than that, that's it for Hawaii, West Coast regions. Little earthquake out there, 2.1, in the Southern California area, and it's pretty quiet. This looks really quiet. There's only a handful, about less than 10 quakes Are we on the all magnitudes? Yes, we are. Less than about 10 quakes out here, folks. That's very, very odd. Ridgecrest pretty quiet too. Nevada is pretty quiet. Northern California is rather quiet. Little quake off the Mendocino Point Junction area. 2.7 there. Southern end of the Cascadia. And wow, it's just really quiet out here on the West Coast. Unbelievable. Alaska's looking pretty quiet as well compared to, your daily average earthquakes. It's just a handful of quakes up there as well. Little on the Erie side out here along the West Coast, and then Alaska. Hawaii's kind of getting in on all the action for right now. The western part of the Pacific Ring of Fire through Japan and the Philippines area, pretty well. Philippines got a little bit of activity up here west of the Manila area. 5.1 and a 4.9 in this area of the world. But other than that, the Pacific Ring of Fire pretty quiet. Papua New Guinea seeing a little earthquake up there, or west of the region. We got about 10 kilometers for that earthquake, and activity is continuing still around the Kermadec Trench. Kind of spreading out a little bit. We're seeing some more earthquakes. You see this right smack dab in between this area. This is a little concerning right here because the depth of this earthquake is 557 kilometers below surface. I remember quite a while ago now, we had that 8.1. We had some significant movement up here. In the plate direction and whatnot kind of puts a lot of pressure in this region right here. And it looks like over the last week we have seen that activity show up following that major movement there along the Kermadec Trench area and northeast of the North Island, where that 7.4 struck. It was during that day where there was just significant earthquake activity. And there were some sixes up here as well near the Nuutu area. But oh man, I know I already forgot it. So this region right here is something to watch here. I know it's kind of I think this is kind of like a foreteller of how much pressure is actually within this region. And I think we definitely need to be on guard there with these deep earthquakes that struck today. 557 kilometers right there is pretty significant, and almost a 6-pointer. 5.8 south of the Fiji Islands, about, looks like 400 or 500 miles or so. So keep an eye on that area for potential larger movement. Little quake down here striking recently as well. In between this region right here, looks like a 4.4. 48 kilometers north of Picton. Is that correct? Picton, New Zealanders. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I apologize if I am. That's just kind of how my California brain is kind of looking at it. Picton. And somewhat deep as well. Of course, we got the Hikurangi Trench subduction zone here. It's away from that area, but the deeper activity is kind of interesting there. 4.7 prior to that, within the same area and rather deep as well. So a little bit of uptick in earthquake activity in that region. What else we got here? South America, pretty quiet, except for 5.2 inland and deep into the subduction area there of the Peru-Chile Trench inland. Well inland underneath the South American plate there, 160 kilometers, 196 kilometers there for the 4.3. So definitely some movement being released underneath there. Of course, pressure does build up back here, similar to the Cascadia subduction zone in the Pacific Northwest. Seems to kick off a lot more in this region. For some reason, it seems like California, West Coast, Cascadia is just underneath like a crystal ball of good luck or something. I'm sure that will change ultimately one day, unfortunately. Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming, a couple small earthquakes. Holmes Hill, Maple Creek, northwest corner of Yellowstone National Park, outside of the Yellowstone caldera, which is there in the black circle area. Not circle, it's not really a circle, but the black outline area They're hidden behind the seismograph stations. So that's good. Nothing major to report there at that monster for now. Iceland. What's going on in Iceland? Here's the latest earthquakes there over the last 48 hours. Not anything major, but still pretty good swarm of quakes within the region we've been seeing and been watching for quite a while. Still kind of waiting for potentially something to happen. But as of right now, just the ongoing earthquake activity, and a lot of folks just being on guard out there, and that's a good thing. Definitely be on guard. Kind of watching that area as well. Volcanoes definitely picking up worldwide, it seems like, for heightened earthquake or heightened volcanic activity. I'm just really surprised Yellowstone or even Long Valley supervolcano hasn't really shown any significant movement there. Oh, let's check the Pacific Northwest Cascadia subduction zone. Some significant movement in the south part of the Cascadia. This is tremor, slippage, if you will, down below the surface, quite a ways along the Cascadia subduction zone, which extends into Northern California, stretches up through this portion here of the west coast and into Vancouver Island up here. The Juan de Fuca plate subducts underneath the North American plate, and offshore we get a major buildup of pressure. Of course, back in 1700, the big 9.0 earthquake struck this area, created a massive tsunami which traveled across the Pacific and hit Japan and I'm sure other areas pretty significantly, and damaged, of course, inland areas. Of course, 300 years ago, it was a long time ago, a lot of pressure being built up here, folks, over the time. Slippage, I always said, and I keep repeating myself in many videos, whenever we see a heightened increase in tremor, I honestly believe while this is slipping, we're adding pressure up here to the back build of pressure, if you will, because that's not disappearing. It's not just going away in the magic puff of clouds. It's building up and building up. But what do we got? 327 on the epicenter count along the Cascadia subduction zone. As far as volcanic seismicity here we'll check out a couple random ones there. Mount Hood, no earthquake activity to report, at least on that map. We'll check out the seismograph station. That kind of gives us a good idea of any, whoa, it's all crooked there. Might want to fix that there, PNSN. Let's see what we got here. A couple small microquakes there. You can see that looks like yesterday's activity. These significant, not significant, but well-defined spikes on the graphs are earthquakes being measured, and there's quite a few of them, but no major movement there at Mount Hood for now. Did I say Mount Hood? Yes, Mount Hood. I wanted to check out the, what was the other one up here? Mount Rainier. Check this guy out real quick and see. I keep having some issues with accessing this seismograph station. Let me see if I can. It's pretty well squashed. Not going to show too much data on this one. So we'll take their word for it that everything's good, right? All right, guys, I'm going to jump off here, throw some chicken on the barbecue. I mean, I don't have to eat steak every night. I can eat chicken. Chicken's good, actually. Barbecue chicken, heck yeah. I am definitely good with that. So anyway, guys, we're getting closer to 40,000 subscribers. I kind of just want to mention that. Someone asked me if we're doing a giveaway around the 40,000 subscriber count. No, we're doing a giveaway around the 50,000 subscriber count. As soon as we hit 50,000, and then I want to do another giveaway, a much bigger giveaway when we eventually hit 100,000 subscribers, which I think will be pretty awesome. I mean, this channel's come a long ways in the past couple years, and then definitely because of you guys subscribing and helping out this channel significantly. Quite a few folks out there donating to this channel, and let me tell you, I appreciate every single dollar that everyone is sending off to the channel. All that money goes directly back into this channel, not only for viewership, but also for events such as the giveaway that's coming up, and also trips to check out, potentially significant earthquake activity anywhere around the globe. Of course, I haven't really traveled anywhere around the globe. Last event was down there in Nevada and up at Yellowstone National Park. But as soon as something pops off, like I say, if we can get Hawaii popping off with that Mauna Loa volcano, I will take a trip out there and do some live streaming and see what we can get out there. But back to the contest. Yeah, 50,000 subscribers. We'll give away some prizes to 3 people. It'll be picked randomly from a basket. I will have to add the rules and whatnot when that kicks up. Looks like the Earthquake 3D bells were turned off. Maybe I just did that. I'll have to turn them back on after this. But yeah, so 3 people at 50,000 subscribers, and then I'm going to give away some prizes to 10 people when we hit, or maybe more, 10 or more people when we hit 100,000 subscribers, which will probably be, who knows how long. It could come up really quick. You never know. But so that's that. The prizes will, I don't want to say right now, but I think the folks that will get them will definitely like them, and it's definitely Earth-related, earthquake, volcanic related. I'm not giving away Starbucks gift cards or Amazon gift cards, but it'll definitely be really cool. It'll be kind of like a package deal for each person that wins. So can't wait for that to happen. All right, guys. Yeah, look at that deep earthquake. That's pretty crazy. Definitely watching that pretty closely out there. All right, so I'm going to kick back on the bells. Look for a station there in Hawaii that covers Mauna Loa for seismic activity. And we'll go from there. Hope everyone has a good night. Stay safe. Peace out.